Right. Okay. Oh, well, I've started up a little bit early, just so people can come into the live stream. Yeah, so let's all go. Okay. Oh, well, I've started up a little bit early, just so people can come into the live stream. Yeah, so we'll just all go. Yeah. Okay, well, I've started up a little bit early, just so people can come into the live stream. We're just getting organised here, folks, so just got to just so people can come into the live stream. We're just getting organised here, folks, so just got to mute some volume on the. Just getting organised here, folks, so just got to mute some volume on the. Just getting organised here, folks, so just got to mute some. Now that's better. All right, so I've got that all muted. I don't know whether I can make. Oh yeah, I can make that into. Oh, perhaps not. I don't want to do that. I'm just trialing a few things here. I've got my iPad set up, so yeah, and then I'm waiting for the. Oh, what happens there? I don't use my iPad very often, so anyway, we have got one person watching now, and we're just waiting for Yankee and WT to join in the live stream. So yeah, I'll just possibly see how things go there. What's that one there? Oh, welcome. Oh, it's the chat there. Okay. All right. So I've got some chat there on the. I've got my iPad down here as well, so that might be quite interesting. Let's see if I can maybe spin that around a little bit. Get that up how it should be. And that can be like a third stream, possibly a third screen there. Okay, yeah. So that's where, what, who. Maybe I can put that over there. So I'm just getting myself organised here, and then we'll get started. So feel free to chat at this stage. Oh, the one watching is me, of course. Just put that over there like that, and I've got the chat over there on where, what, to, and what have I got coming in here on the phone? Let's have a look at my phone. Something's happening there on YouTube. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we're. I don't know what's going there, but we're live anyway. We're live on YouTube, and I've just made a start. So there. So what I'll do here, I'll just invite people. Send an invite. So let's add some names. Yankees Outdoor Adventures. Yep. And WT. Oh, doo-dah, diddy. Yep. So I'll just send out some invites to the other people that are joining the Hangout. And yeah, so I just got this underway a little bit early, but it seems to be going out to the wonderful world of the internet, according to various plans. Every time I look at my other screens, I seem to see the top of my head, which is a little bit disconcerting. But nonetheless, we'll see what we can do with that. And yeah, I think we're underway and waiting for Yankee and WT to come into the Hangout. So just got underway a little bit live so I could get everything organised. Hello, WT.
Oh, finally got on.
Awesome. Yeah. But we're underway. I just started a little bit early so I could have a little bit of, you know, just a little bit of a chance to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, see how we go. So we haven't got anyone in the chat yet. And yeah, so how's your day been?
Well, I've been very good answering all your little problems. Even the curly ones.
Yeah, that was, I was quite surprised at how many that photograph, how many like views and that there was of it. And
well, yes, and it was really what they were advertising was overnight camping at that spot where we saw the guys, and that was the was the one I named it very confidently that was it. But what you were showing was a picture was a damned Fugao, whatever it was.
Yeah,
that was very embarrassing.
Oh no, it's all just how it rolls.
Oh yeah, but I reckon I had it, but I didn't. And I saw then you sent the link, and it said clearly on that.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I have to distort the photographs so that people can't use the Tineye, you know, the app that you can just put a photograph in and it'll identify it on Google. So,
well, I wish I had that app because it'd make things a lot easier. I tried because I have had it where you can push it, because I'm worrying about branding. If you put something on your computer and then they can click on it and they say, oh, this belongs to Joe Blow, and the next minute you're getting sued by some rich American lawyers or something. I don't know how it works.
I don't think they'll come chasing some poor buddy broken ass surveyor in New Zealand.
They probably give you a headache, though.
I'll show you. I'll just quickly show you. We're not there, but I'll just share my screen here.
Yeah.
If you go to up here, screen 2. Oh, I think I can do this. Oh yeah, I'll just go.
When you first went, you come on, you've gone live. I clicked on it and I saw you there.
Yeah.
Your stuff, but I knew that wasn't the right. So
okay.
That, and then I'm playing around because I've got an extension for Google plus the original Google. Oh yeah.
So if you go there to, now let me think, where is it? If you go to images and you go there and it goes to Google Images and it's a bit slow, there's a thing in here and you can just upload the photograph and it'll tell you what it is.
Oh.
I haven't got full bandwidth there, so I don't think, but it's...
No, but, oh, well, that's interesting that at least what you're doing is stopping any smarty from getting...
Well, sort of, a little bit, yeah. So you just click on that there, on the images.
Yeah.
And then it comes up with a little... This thing expands a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just upload your photo, so you can just take a screenshot.
What's the URL? the URL itself, isn't it? Because that's
you can you just yeah.
Oh, you do a screenshot, yeah.
You can just do a screen and just do whatever the upload the photograph file like a JPEG or something like that. And I haven't got enough bandwidth at the moment to do it, but yeah, you just put it in there and it'll identify where it is.
Oh God!
And so that's why I've got those little. I'll just get out of. I'll just get out of here.
No, that's a worry, isn't it? That
yeah.
Here I am instantly for a minute.
Yeah. So that's hang on, I'll see. We should go back now. Yep.
Yeah, we're back right now. That you're.
Yeah. So that's why I put the little. It's got that grid on it, and
that stops them doing it.
Flip it back to front. Not that I think. I mean, it's. Yeah, I know that anyone, but I sort of looked it up a little bit, and I don't know how effective my thing is, but
that fun thing that gave me a lot of grief because I could not, because you've got it so distorted, and I'm looking because what I'm looking for is detail, and I'm getting no detail, and it looked like a flat blade.
Oh yeah, that one was.
I don't think you saw it. I took a photo. I found the very eBay ad. And I took a photo of it showing the inside, you know, how it was curved and everything.
Yeah, no, I know. I did notice that.
Yeah,
I noticed that one. Yeah, but so there's a.
You lose all the time. It's you know, it's easy, but I mean, you still pull your hair out sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying. I prefer, you know, I want it to go on a little bit like, you know, I have the quite easy one on my vlog, but yeah, not, you know, that's the one that I'm after is the one that you have to do a little bit of detective work and a little bit of research for.
Some of them are easy. Some of those ones on the hard blog are easy, like, but I don't want to tell you too much because what I did tell you, and you go and block those things up. Like I said, yeah, I got the information off the flag, and then I was able to see where the park was, and then I was able to see where the building was. And then, blimey dead, I never get any clues like that anymore.
No, I'm not doing that on purpose.
No, but you're trying to make it last more than a day, of course.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that on purpose at all.
I enjoy it, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy finding it and doing that, and quite often at work, people will ask me. Now,
Yankee's got a note's come up here from Yankee.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, it won't let me
in. Okay, I haven't got.
It'll be up the top. Well, I get a note that I'm on the iMac and I've changed things and I don't understand what I've done, but
oh, hang on, here he is.
Here he is.
Good morning.
Hey, Yankee.
Hey, fellas. I made it.
Jeez, where's your hat?
Oh, his head's hanging up here, guys.
Thought we might have got you up too early.
Yeah, I say I'm just up and around here, guys. I got my I do have my coffee and stuff, so we're all right. We're good.
Oh, good. We've just been talking about where, what, who.
That's how I was going to start out when I got here, but I forgot to. I was going to holler out a big where, what, who.
Oh, you might do a better job than I do. I was a bit short of breath today. Didn't get it quite as long as I normally do. I don't know what's going on.
So this is WT, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Well, great to put a face to the avatar.
Yeah. Well, the avatar doesn't stay too long. I like to change it. No YouTube videos for me. I'm very shy, but I love looking at everyone's content. It's great.
It's a lot of fun. It is. I enjoy it. I'm not very shy, though. I think you could tell. I
know. Well, I think that's an American trait, isn't it?
It is. I think it is. You're right. I can't deny that. You're right. You're right. You got me. Me, look at me. I'm an American. Look at me.
I thought it was only when you travel.
No, we're like that right here too, man. We even want other Americans to look at us.
Oh, okay.
we want everybody's attention.
Yeah. Oh well.
I've heard something, Yankee, that everything you do is done on a phone. You don't have
what?
You don't use a computer. You use a phone for everything.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm using right now.
Yeah, but what do you use? You must use the cloud for storage for everything.
I use Google Drive is what I use. Now I did have to purchase some extra storage room because they don't give you very much for free. But I'm like 100. I think it's 100 megabytes or something like that I can store in there, and I'm constantly erasing stuff so I can fit something because it's full. It's always full.
No doubt.
We've got a couple of guys come in. We've got Foreign Duo have come in. So hello, Foreign Duo. And
good morning.
And Moz from far north Queensland. Moz, our second Aussie backup chap is in the house as well. So can you guys?
Good morning to everyone.
You guys can't see the chat, is that right?
No, we can't.
Yeah.
No.
So I'll call it out when it comes in. So I've just said hi. I will say hello when these guys stop talking.
It may be a little bit early for a lot of my crowd there, Mario.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Well, I'm sure.
Like people in California and that, it'll be 3 a.m. at the moment for them.
Yeah. As I said, we're just what's just now 6 a.m. here on the coast. So yeah.
Foreign Duo, we've just got Yankee. I think you can tell which one he is. He's the one with the American accent, and WT is the guy with the Aussie accent. And
accent? Who's got it? I only hear 2 accents on here now.
I haven't got an accent, but believe me.
I'm the Kiwi. I've got no accent.
As soon as you get that, you realise everyone's talking different.
Oh, mercy.
Foreign Duo wants to have a bit of a how about we talk about the mass shooting in the American school this year? Good topic. You got any thoughts on that, Yankee?
It's hard to say what to even think about it. In our country, half of us think that things like that are purposely staged and done so that they can try to demand our gun control. So who knows? Who knows?
As a teacher myself, I'm surprised that it's always the students and not the teachers.
Oh, hey, here's maybe you guys don't know this, but here now, especially like here in Ohio, we just started this year a program to get all of our school teachers carrying concealed.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I did see something about Donald Trump was saying that would be a good thing to happen.
Right. Well, I mean, what their belief is at this point, if you got a crazy kid runs in with a gun, we got a school full of teachers who can defend the other children.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Hey, Moz thought for a second there that New Zealand was getting squeezed out of ANZUS, but I think we withdrew voluntarily.
Well, yes, you. They didn't. What they wanted to disclose from America that if they were nuclear ships, they had to be told, and America doesn't divulge that information. So then they banned them coming there, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, they wouldn't. What was it? Oh, neither admit nor deny or something.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I saw a thing a while back. You know, you were saying about the school teachers. I saw a thing. I thought it was a bit of a laugh, actually. They had these little bulletproof whiteboards that you could put on your arms to protect yourself.
Wow. No, I didn't see them, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know, I mean, a lot of schools around here now, they have metal detectors you got to walk through to even get into the school. It's like going to a courthouse or something, you know, is what it's like going to the schools.
You did have actually armed security people on the doors to and lock the doors or something to try and stop intruders.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a I don't even know what, like I said, it's a bad situation, but I don't know if attacking every firearm in the country is necessarily the right. So, you know, I think a lot of countries don't understand because they've already lost rights to firearms in a lot of countries around this world. With America, and why are Americans so attached to their guns? And I can plain and simply give you that answer, is all stems back to our Revolutionary War. If it wasn't for the fact that citizens were armed, we would not own this country today. We would still be under English rule, and that would be the end of that. It is that one key factor, that the civilians were armed, that allowed us to liberate ourselves from what we considered an evil government. So in the future, if this were to be taken by an evil government again, in theory, the people are able to defend it and take it back. That's why we keep our guns. But that's, I mean, in a short, that's why.
Miles is a bit skeptical about that, how you're going to decrease the shootings by increasing the number of guns in the school with the teachers. But you're saying that they're going to be trained in use defense and things like that. Yeah. You
know, guys, there are so many guns in this country, and the amount of crazy shootings you hear are pretty minute in comparison to the amount of guns that are in this country, without a doubt. Again, you know, it's a really difficult topic to discuss, and it's a major topic here in America too. We have so many people on one side, so many on the other. You know, I don't believe everyone should have a machine gun in their house. You know, I don't think you should have a rocket launcher sitting in the corner. But when it comes down to your liberty and your right to defend yourself, you know, hey, look. Any of them kids and whatnot that were shot by a shooter were unarmed. If they had a gun, could they have defended themselves? There's my question. You know, maybe everyone. See, you know, I'm not on the ballpark of everyone losing guns. I'm the guy who says we should all be wearing one. People will be less likely to pull a gun on you if they know you have one. True fact.
We just got Big Tony and Goldilocks Hernandez in the come along, so welcome, and yeah,
good morning.
Yeah. So Big Tony and Goldilocks Hernandez, good to have you on board. Thank you so much, Yankee. I think you've got more to say on this one.
Well, you know, I mean, again, like I said, it's a real touchy subject here. It really is. You can't walk into a room of people and start this conversation without making half the room mad. I mean, you can't. It's a real touchy subject.
I saw a thing. They had a thing on the radio over here about some of the statistics, and that like there was one side of the equation said that you know, there'd been 18 school shootings or something since this year, and then they started to look at what a school shooting was, and like one of them was someone discharged a gun at 2 o'clock in the morning or something on a school ground. So you know, sort of, there's
we
all
get
sorts
carried away. Now, here's a perfect example of carried away. There was a student who climbed up to the roof of the school while a bunch of kids were outside. And while he was up on the roof, he took his finger and he went like that.
Yeah.
He's sitting with criminal charges right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's a little bit over the top, in my opinion. See, again, it's just such a touchy situation. There will be a room of people that say, yeah, you should prosecute that kid. And then you got people like me that say he was pointing a finger. I don't care. You know, you cannot get shot with a finger. So, you know, it's a crazy thing, but
We've got
us Americans like to fight amongst ourselves. You didn't know that?
We got a couple of Moz and Foreign Duo asking about tasers and whether that might be a way to go.
I tell you what, don't ever shock me with a taser. I'll shoot you.
Well, people have actually died from being.
No, but that'll hurt.
It can kill you.
No, you know, guys, I have one of them too. I mean, I got a few of them too, but I don't know. Anytime you give yourself an edge at defending yourself, you're better off. So, as far as, are there lethal weapons that can take the place of firearms? I don't know. Less lethal weapons. And I really don't know the answer to that. The cops have them. Look, man, if the authorities have guns, either I get to have a gun or I am lesser of a person. See, you see my viewpoint on that? You know, if my authority that comes to me is armed, he's demanding an extra type of authority from me just based on his sidearm. If I have a sidearm on too, it puts us on an equal ground. Because a man wears a badge doesn't mean he's more important to me. I'm still an American citizen too. See, so, you know, I mean, there's a lot of debate, a lot of argument. So there is definitely no way we'll get a simple answer here on this show today.
I think you're right. It's interesting to get a different perspective on it from, like, particularly from New Zealand, where our police aren't armed. They do have access to guns. They have their gun in a lockbox in the back of their car.
Oh, man. Let me get the key. Hold on a minute.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Different, in Australia, all the police are armed and everyone else isn't. I lost my guns, and the whole point is that unless you can prove that you've got a property to go and shoot on, and you've got a legitimate reason, or you're a member of a sporting club, a sporting shooters club, then you've no right to firearms. And so that's the situation. But the police are armed. Every person, even on the point duty or something, you'll see they've got a sidearm.
See, to me, that creates a type of authority pressure that makes them automatically better than you or above you because of that sidearm. In my opinion, if we were to remove sidearms from the citizens, then they should absolutely be removed from the police as well. If you can't. It becomes totally different when your authority gets to wear a gun, when he tells you what you did wrong, when maybe you were right. You have less argument base when you're looking at a weapon. And the authorities in the United States use their weapons as influence. They do.
We've got a couple of guys here. Foreign Duo's interested in the gun behind you, Yankee. I know you've done a video on it, which I quite enjoyed.
Like from the Wild West, the real one.
It's an 18 something replica, isn't it? And also Moz is, yeah, he's agreed with what WT said about Australia. So if you want to talk about that one behind you, Yankee, that would
this one here, guys. This is this gun here goes to my hobby more than it does anything else. I have other firearms. I'm an American. All Americans have firearms, guys. If they, or a lot of us anyway. But this one here is actually black powder. One of the things I like to do is I like to do survival type stuff. I make my own black powder. I make my own lead balls for the black powder. So this particular gun here, it's an 1858 New Army revolver is what it's called, and it's a lot of fun, and it's inexpensive to shoot because of how much of the stuff I can create myself for it.
Yeah. So I thought it might be on your outdoor adventures, right? That, well, you're living in a place where there's wild animals that can kill you, and you would wear that just in case. I don't know whether there's any bears where you are, but I mean, if a bear come out at you and I have that, I'll be using it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely it would. I got to be honest with you when it comes to animals, though. I'm more worried about a two-legged animal in encountering anywhere than I ever am of any four-legged animal. Even a bear on the trail. If you keep your wits about you and you don't ever rush up on anything. Always be attentive to what's going on around you. A bear's a big animal. If you did not hear or see the bear before it's right in your face, you ain't paying attention anyway, and you're going to get hurt out there. If you stay attentive and you respect all animals that you see and in the way you would want to be respected in your home, because it's their home when you're there, you back off of them, you give them the right of way. I've never had trouble. You know, the only animals I have trouble with here is raccoon, because them little bold buggers, they'll climb down your strap and still get to your bag, even if you hang it from a branch, man. They're pesky little fellas.
Moz has got a comment here. He says, black powder is cool. Shoot, wait for the smoke to clear and see if you hit anything.
Well, you know, these are actually pretty accurate. They are. It is rifle. It is, you know, the barrel is rifled, so there is spin to your bullet. I actually do speed competitions with these guns right here. I'm actually from holstered position. I'm under 3 seconds to discharge all 6 into my target. So from holstered position. So that's one of the things I do is I competition shoot also. So
the competition and gunslinging kind of. You know?
Yeah. We kind of with these type, we all look like we're the cowboys on the range, quick draw, and that's what we do with these guns in the competitions. It's a lot of fun to shoot. The powder, the smoke really isn't that bad unless you're indoors. You know, when you watch old Westerns, and these were the type of guns they were using, and you'll see the cowboys have a gunfight in the saloon. Well, in real life, if a gunfight were to be in the saloon, by the time the second gun went off once, you wouldn't see nobody no more. The smoke would be so thick inside there, you wouldn't see nothing. But you know, that's the reality of that. When it comes to indoors, this wouldn't be the first gun of choice to use, but there's a lot cleaner powders. Like I said, I make this powder, so it's a smoky powder. It's dirty powder.
So you say that's 1858 and it was black powder. So what about the American Civil War? Was that all their rifles and everything, were they using black powder at that time?
Yeah, they were. When did your carbines come in? Your solids. Boy, I need Google right now. But it's right in that ballpark though. There was that changeover.
Yeah.
You know, necessity creates inventions, right? So there you go. There was a war on. So I would imagine that's probably where a lot of that came from.
Well, look at the developments in aircraft design in World War II and World War One. It just jumped incredibly.
Yeah, and look at it today. You know, from progressing to now everything. Well, here in America now, all the new stuff is stuff that has to be desert tested, and you know, I mean, probably one of the biggest challenges when a country goes to a foreign land is to make sure your equipment can hold up to their climates and their dealings. We had trouble with back in the 80s with the Gulf war that we did over there. Our biggest problem we had with mechanical was because of sand. You know, the sand was terrible. It would clog up everything, clog up your weapons. You know, we had to create a new military gun that could handle being buried in the sand and not jam because of the sand, of that, all because of that war, you know. So things change because of necessity.
Yeah.
Nothing improves technology like war, Moz says. I think he's right.
You're right, too.
A lot of money to be made out of war.
Yes. Yes. I think it's the main reason anyone goes to war. I mean, has there ever been a war that really wasn't over money? You know, I think we like to claim a lot of other prideful reasons, but when it comes down to it, you know, it's money.
Follow the dollar.
Well, yeah, the Second World War, bringing America into it, was the Japanese doing it over money, but I don't think the Americans were doing it over money. It was straight out revenge, payback for Pearl Harbor.
Well, I've just.
But let me ask you this: what started the harbor hit? What made them do that?
Well,
didn't we just cut them out of trade embargo right prior to that? Right.
That's
so
true.
It was money.
Well, yeah, they needed the resources, and they were going to come to a halt with their expansionism, and so they decided to step in and wake the sleeping giant to their cost.
And you know, I mean, it's weird again with war, you know. But if you are the either side and you stand on the side, you can see the reason for their war. So, you know, again, I guess it depends on which side you're always on. Or you're on before we can determine, you know, how you're going to feel about it too. I think personally, I think any war that we've been involved in has been, you know, invoked in some way, especially when it comes to money and cutting off people's trade embargoes and things like that. You know, America does a lot of trade with the rest of the world. So when we start talking about cutting off trade, we actually are talking about screwing up your livelihood for certain countries. So I can understand why they would be so defensive, you know, when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Orangeros said, talking about war, looks like the next one will be nuclear.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, that's funny. That's exactly the comment I put in the chat. I hope
World War III will be nuclear. World War IV will be using rocks and sticks, though. You know that, right?
Personally, I think World War III is going to be digital. It's going to be. It's going to happen over the, you know, I think it's sort of happening now with, you know, by knocking out, you know, they can attack people's economy by screwing with their computer systems and stuff like that. You know, I think there's an element of that going on, like, you know, all the stuff.
Russia. And
the Russia interfering with the elections and that sort of thing. They can probably have a bigger effect for their dollar.
When it comes to the Russians playing with the election, you know, they claim that the Russians had all this involvement, but the only involvement we can actually prove they had was they would put propaganda commercials on the internet. Well, now wait a minute. So since when is a commercial controlling the election?
Yeah.
You know, our own politicians put smear commercials about each other on the internet, on the TV. So Russia did that, and they somehow tampered with our election. I just don't, you know, I mean,
It's
I don't get it. Everybody likes to complain, and the loser complains the loudest. So, you know.
So foreign duos a bit worried about North Korea and Mr. Trump. Thinks
oh, no Trump.
no Trump.
No Trump. That's, man, you guys got me on all the worst topics here today, man.
Don't tell me you didn't know that was going to happen.
I did. Yeah, well, you know, you got the American in the room. You might as well pin him to the wall.
Oh, you got big shoulders.
You know, yeah, I'm not worried about it.
That guy in North Korea is a bit of a, I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Now you guys are closer to him than I am, so
yeah. But his missiles aren't pointed at us.
His missiles are pointed at himself. I think half of them, aren't they?
Well, it won't be too long, and he will have rockets that can reach America and reach here. So what's America going to do if they cop a couple of nuclear bombs come on? Is it going to be the end of the world? Because they'd have to retaliate, and that could be it. You know?
See, I think a lot of our third world treaties really prevent us from going nuclear with certain countries because of their bordering countries.
Well, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, retaliation. I can't imagine Donald Trump saying, "No, we won't do nothing." He's head of the armed forces, technically, isn't he? So he'd be getting a lot of advice to retaliate.
Yeah, I don't picture us retaliating in any way unless he literally hits something, you know, or sends one real close to some U.S. property or something, you know. I think he could hit parts. He could probably hit California or Washington now, you know, Washington State.
Yeah, but
they claim he probably could.
You've got we've got East Dad has arrived now. East Dad, hello, and welcome to the conversation. You might have another alloy there, another ally, Yankee. So
who was it?
East Dad. East Dad. I think he's a fellow American.
All right.
You have got a you've still got what's that one? You've the missile defense system, haven't you? You've got the I forget what it's Operation something Shield or
the Star Wars one. Is that the one you're talking about? I don't know if Star Wars works. I don't know if Star Wars works, guys. That might be a myth. That might be a money thing.
I have to say, I haven't heard too much about it recently. That
was Ronald Reagan's baby way back when they put them satellites up there and stuff. I don't know if I don't even know if that system even works.
Moz reckons Trump will tweet them until they surrender.
There you go. You know, Donald Trump, man, that's where he spends every morning in the bathroom sitting there with his phone in his hand doing that tweet, buddy.
Oh, well, he's getting better.
I don't even know. You know, I mean, what do you believe, though? You know, I mean, I don't even know that Trump makes those tweets, you know, to be honest with you. I as far as I know, there could be some kid that's paid to make those tweets, because here in America, little controversies get us all stirred up. And while we're stirred up on these little things, big things go on behind our back. Okay. And anytime somebody does something small and stupid and the whole country gets tore up, it makes me wonder, what did we just miss? You know, the sleight of hand game going on over here all the time, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm surprised that people think that he has that much power, and like he doesn't, you know, like he's that independent. Like you say, I think he's got, certainly. I don't think he just thinks it up and sends it out. I'm pretty sure it's more considered than that. Yeah.
Which one of us is causing that feedback?
I'm not hearing any feedback, but I'm noticing that you're breaking up a bit, Mario.
It might be. Hey, WT, mute your mic for 1 second, WT.
Well, my mic is actually incorporated in an iMac, so I can't.
Well, if you touch,
I can't. I don't even know where it is on the screen.
If you just touch the screen, the two little pictures will disappear, and you'll have a hang up, a microphone, and a camera on screen. Once you touch the screen, the little pictures, just, you know, the other pictures disappear.
Yes, I've got that.
Okay, the microphone, just tap the microphone.
Well, I've got it here. No, hang on. I've got it here, and it says if I touch that, I mute the microphone.
Yeah, I want to see if that's where the feedback's coming from or not. That's why.
I'll mute that now.
Okay. Hello. Hey, Mario.
Yeah.
Hey, Mario. Talk to me.
I'm talking now.
Okay.
Am I good?
It is WT, I think, is the one whose microphone's picking up. For some reason, his is picking up the little bit of the loop we're all on.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, I'm sorry about that. It's not one I can change, but I can mute it unless I'm speaking, and that might help.
The suggested.
That's what we'll try doing. If the feedback sounds too bad, just remember to hit your mute, and then that'll stop that.
No problem.
It gets a little crazy for the viewers if we get that over talking stuff going on.
Okay. The other way to do it is if you've got a set of earphones too. That's what
that would help.
That's the other one, but just turn maybe turn the volume down a little bit too. Yeah. Now I've got no volume. All right, foreign duo. I hope I'm coming through. So we've got foreign duo. Have you heard of all the robots that Google and other huge companies have made? Robots that can actually learn and involve learning from humans. So you're a little bit down there. And Moz says bad echo, guys. I've actually turned my iPad off. I don't know whether that was any problem. And yeah, just a suggestion that we turn the volume down. Maybe help reduce the feedback.
I have turned my volume down to 50% now.
Okay,
and whether that will do anything.
That helped.
Yeah, it sounds better this end as well.
Yeah, you'll say you do too. Yeah. Sorry about that. I've only had the damn thing 3 weeks, and I'm learning all about Macs again.
No, you're fine.
Well, it's all just part of how things evolve on the programs. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, we got to learn sometime, right?
I was just wondering if I turn the old iPad back on again. I had that going as well. It was quite good for keeping track of the chat. It's a shame that we can't get the chat. I think if I was able to use the OBS, I might be able to get the chat up into the on screen. But
Mario, there is a way to use OBS and at the same time be a host to other guests but I don't use it, so I couldn't walk you through that.
No,
But I can probably get one of the other guys to help me, explain it to me so I can pass it on to you.
I used it before. I think I've got to cut my bandwidth down, but yeah, I have used OBS and I got it to work quite well, and then and now it's just suddenly it stopped going, and I don't know whether it's a setting or what. It just there's not enough bandwidth to get it to go. So yeah, but working
that's
on
OBS you're saying.
I've just got a my son has just come in with I don't know if you watch my my web crap of the week, and Isaac the kids page has come in. So we've got my wife's an Australian, I'm a Kiwi, so my son's an Australian and a Kiwi, and he's married to an American, so he's just said he's the only true ANZUS. So Isaac the kid's dad's here.
Now, is that yours? That's your son that's in Ohio?
Yeah. So hello, Ben. And Isaac. I think Isaac might have woken him up.
Isaac's a star.
Yeah.
Do we have many people in the chat room, Mario?
We've got five watching at the moment, and we've got Moz, Roland Peace, Ben must just come in, and Moz. Foreign Duo has been in, and yeah, so at the moment.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. If you haven't keyed up and let us know who you are, please do. And hey, if you just got here and you're enjoying the video, please hit the thumbs up. It helps all creators.
Roland Peace is Roland Peace .420 is one of the from the 420 community, and he's in the UK. So,
all right.
So we're getting all
really
the
international now.
Yeah. Oh, the echo is back. Something? No. Oh no.
I'll mute. I can mute mine if you want. I'll mute my mic for a bit.
Oh, okay. But can you? Oh, I see. Can you hear? All right.
Yeah, he can hear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it'll be coming through the mic. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's 9:38, and where Moz is in Queensland, far north Queensland. Yeah, 9:38 there, quite early.
6:39 here.
Yeah, 12:39. It's Sunday here. First place in the world to see the new day.
Yeah.
I think there's another place before New Zealand, though, isn't there?
I think
a small island somewhere.
Yeah, I think Samoa changed from one side of the international date line to the other, just so that they could beat us. But we don't. we can't remember that.
Yeah.
I think they did. They changed. Yeah, they changed. I think the international date line just swiped down the side. We're actually physically, in terms of longitude, we're 11.5 hours ahead. But we just yeah, they put it up to 12 hours as a form of daylight saving, and then introduced it permanently. Way back, one of the first countries in the world to do it, apparently.
Yeah, they did it here too. During the First World War, I think all the countries went to daylight saving to save life, save everything.
My daughter's partner's just come in, and he's made a comment. Identify yourself, because they overheard me in my very first live stream, and I I think 2 people, I might have even had one, I think it might have been we, and I kept saying, identify yourself, identify yourself. So they're giving me, they always give me a little bit of stick about it.
You gotta love it.
What's Moz saying? Oh, Moz reckons I'm in the future.
Well, you are in the future. I was going to ask you, you know, how does my Saturday evening go? Because it's just Saturday morning here.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was pretty good, Yankee.
Good day.
Yeah. Not too bad.
Is there any way you can tell me what tonight's lottery numbers are going to be?
Well, that would be something.
But I did hear a story of a guy that videoed the results from the week before.
Right.
And then he went down and bought a ticket with those numbers on them and gave them to his wife, and then replayed the results from the week before on the video at the right time.
Did he get divorced right after? Or
I don't know how long the relationship lasted.
I can't pull tricks like that on mine. I gotta sleep too close to her.
Yeah, exactly. Happy life.
I think they're right up on any little scams. They'd be stopping anything happening.
Oh, there's a few little movies about not the lottery, but certainly the race. You know, that when they were relaying the race ticket, the race results by phone from one place to the other, they were able to work out how much delay there was and get in there and put a few bets on. There's an Irish movie about that, I think. Just
hey, when money's involved, you can expect anything, right?
Yeah, that's right. Like those guys in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something, and they had someone in the audience coughing at the right time or something.
Oh, really?
That went on. Yeah.
There was. Yeah, they had a couple of guys in the audience, and they won. They got the $1 million, and then they watched the video or something, and they were able to work out somehow that this guy was helping them out.
Sitting there with Google, no doubt, right?
Probably, yeah. Or just very clever. Do you have that one? And what's that one that have that over? They have one over here called The Chaser. And it's just a whole group of people against this one person. And they just, yeah.
I did see something like that. They put them in like it's like an abandoned city or something, and they got to get to certain checkpoints, and they're being chased. Is that what you're talking about?
No. That's The Amazing Race. No, this
yeah, okay.
It's just a quiz show, and like it starts off with the people. They ask all the people questions, and depending on how much they answer, that's how much money they get to put in the pool. And if they, like, the chaser starts 5 questions behind them or something, and then if they miss a question and he answers the question, he can overtake them and they're knocked out, sort of thing. And then the ones that aren't knocked out, they go together into a big group. And so it's all against this one person who's, like, he's the part of the competition. He's there, and that their knowledge is incredible. Yeah, just the one guy. Amazing. I think it's called The Chaser.
The Chaser. I've watched it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good show, but I don't watch it all the time. It's on in the afternoon. Yeah, The Chase. Yeah, it's a oh yeah. So from our chat room, we've got Future Lottery number 42.
we've got yeah, Ocean's 11 they're talking about, which is, that must be a sort of a scam type movie, I think. And there's a show where they dump people in the city and they have to hide from a bounty hunter. Is that's enough?
I've seen something like that before. That's what I was kind of thinking of. But
you know, we've had one over here, the Amazing Race thing. But yeah,
we lose coercion, guys. Oh, I got WT back. Oh, WT's gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh. All right, WT's back. Mario's back.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah,
I think it's incredible that you can actually function on the phone. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and do all your editing and stuff like that. That's what, because what I've been thinking about, I might turn that off. That might give us a bit more at my end. We've got Mark Wallingford. Good morning, Yankee, and all else.
Good morning. Glad you could make it, brother.
Is that Mark Wallingford? Yeah. Okay. So obviously knows you, Yankee.
Yeah, one of the community, no doubt. It's great to have him here.
Yeah. Awesome.
I did notice, Mario, I noticed that my little announcement video I made, I don't know if you called it or not. Yeah, I think you called it. I made an announcement about this. I did notice when I came over to your channel that you have gotten quite a few comments from that video, so that's good. That's a good thing.
No, I got a few a few people came over and had a look and subscribed and said that they had come from you. Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
that means it worked, right? I mean, or it helped a little bit anyway.
Mark said better late than never, but we cover many time zones that it's we're not expecting. We just want people to drop in when they can, because we realize that some people are sleeping and all sorts of things. So
it's amazing.
It's great that you're here, Mark. Just when when you can. That's all we're happy with that. Awesome. Thank you.
It is great to have you here, and I can't see the chat, guys. So just I'm sorry I can't announce you when you come in or anything. But Mario's tried to do a great job at that, so he will he'll keep letting us know if you got anything to say for sure.
Moz said he tried using the phone, but the operator keeps getting in the way. No, I thought when you said that, I thought about that, and I thought about my students. Most of my students have phones, and I like was hoping to get them to make a few videos and things like that. So it'd be really awesome to sort of get a few ideas as to how they could make I knew that they could take the videos because I do all mine on the phone, but doing the editing and all that would be interesting to find out a bit more about that. Yeah.
Well, when I the editing I do is again, there's so many different editors. It's going to matter to what is user friendly to you. I have had people say, "Oh, this app works great for editing," and I couldn't even figure out how to get started with it. And then the app I use, I've been told that's a terrible app.
Okay.
Excuse me, but I find it to be the most easiest one to use. So we get that little brain stump there where we can do things one way and not another, and that's the way I am with computers anyway. Certain programs, they just fit what I see, and others don't at all.
Oh, you build up you certainly invest a lot of time in certain programs, so you tend to stay with them rather than looking at everything. But then you start to look around. There's sort of most of the programs are pretty similar. There's the differences between them are probably a small part of the total thing, is what I find. You can generally
It is, but a lot of times the differences are in the way you operate one of the functions. And if you're used to it being a certain way, it can kind of really, mess your brain up to try to, well, why can't I find the splice bar or where is it? And it's those, and I think it's frustrating enough to get a video out on time. I would love to use a different editor because there are some things I'd like to do that I can't do, but every time I try to find one, it just frustrates me. I end up I ended up just getting rid of those apps and going back to what I used all along anyway. So
what sort of phone have you got? I know it's an Android phone. Is it one of these big tablet type ones or not?
Mine's a Samsung Galaxy 8 S8.
Oh yes, that's the same as Mario's got. Yeah,
they're great phones. Even the S7. The S7 was a great phone too. That had a real good camera on it. Yeah. I like Galaxy products. Galaxy has been in two-way communications longer than any of these companies. Galaxy used to make CB radios.
Okay.
Because you come from a CB radio background, Yankee.
Yeah, I still run a ham radio and stuff. I don't get on it that much anymore because I like to stay in a positive frame of mind. It helps my life. And there's a lot of negativity and argument, and everybody wants to batter against everybody on the radio. So I kind of really have gotten away from that in the last year and focused YouTube. I made YouTube my new hobby. It's my new CB radio.
I remember there used to be the ham radios. There used to be some guy, a leader of one of the countries, or I used to work with guys that did ham radio, and they'd make contact with people all around the world, and then those people would send them a little card or a postcard or something. And then
QL cards. I have plenty of them myself. If you're bored and you go into the Wayback Machine and look at my YouTube page, on the very first videos are actually my CB rig, my ham rig. And from here in Ohio, I talk to England, I talk to Australia, I talk to Jamaica, all from right here in Ohio.
There's just got a few here. Moz has got a Galaxy S7, and Mark S7. Foreign Duo says Galaxy is really great until they explode. That's the note. And
I'm the odd one out. I've got an iPhone 5C, an ancient thing, tiny.
Well, see, Apple products are really, really popular, but I don't find Apple to be user-friendly, in my opinion. I would much rather take something powered by an Android than I would by Apple. And there's more you can do for free with an Android than you can with an Apple. Apple wants you to pay for everything.
And
I used to have a Note 2, and it was very good, and then I got an offer to buy this phone, and it was too good to refuse. So that's how I.
Well, they're good phones, good camera. There's a good camera on it.
Moz says 10-4, Yankee.
10-4, all right, or 42.
There's someone up the road from me, and they're on a ham radio thing, and they've got the most enormous aerials that look like a television aerial, but they are just almost the width of the yard. Was that the sort of setup you would have had over there to be able to contact different countries?
Actually, I do it with just a straight stick. My antenna is, well, what are they? They're 12 foot long, give or take. There's actual measurement, but and I got it at 100 foot in the air to the tip of my antenna. Okay, and that's it. Now I cheat. I run well, let's see. How can I say this without incriminating myself? I don't run any, but there are devices that you can add to your radio that can peak up your wattage from a 4-watt, which is legal, to a 4 kW, which is very illegal. But with one of those amplifiers and the right condition, because conditions mean a lot too, you can talk around the world with it.
Okay. So by having the straight aerial straight up, that means you get an even, it's not so much direction, it'll go everywhere. It might be a weaker signal in the length, but it goes to any point.
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, and it's when you're using a straight stick, it's giving it 360. It's giving off the signal all the way around, all directions.
Yeah, I was thinking.
But the condition, the atmospheric condition will condense your radio signal and force it in direction also. So as conditions change, you might be talking to England from Ohio, and then in a snap of the fingers, you can't hear England anymore, but here comes somebody from Jamaica. Okay. And that's because the atmospheric conditions actually changed to where you're no longer hitting that guy. You know, it's not a stable signal the way I'm running it.
So what's it do if you've got low cloud cover? Would that affect the signal for you? Because I know it sort of goes up and then it bounces and it might go 4 or 5 times. I don't know. It just goes all the way around the horizon to get to the country.
There's different type of aerials. Like I said, mine comes off 360, but you can use a beam antenna. A beam antenna will gives you a directional. Now you are still coming off the backside of it with your signal, but you're only coming off the backside with about half of your power. And off your front side, you're coming out with an amplified power, okay? And off your sides, you're actually not putting out at all. So somebody could be close to you and not hear your radio, and somebody very far away can, and it all has to do with the way your antenna's pointed.
So it's all in reverse. It's basically in reverse to a television aerial, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Only they're receiving.
Because actually, you know, as a radio, you're the broadcaster, so it's got a lot similar with the broadcasting side of a TV studio or a radio studio when it comes to the signal out. You know, your signal in is just a matter of being receiving on the same megahertz and being in a good conditional area or close enough, you know, depending. If you figure a 4-watt radio is really only about an 8-mile radio. That's about it, 8 miles at 4 watts, you know.
Mark Wallingford says you must be coming, Yankee, you must be coming in hard and loud. But it's not you, it's a friend of yours, right? Yeah.
Mark out there, he's a great community member, no doubt. Is he? Well, yeah. Hey, guy, I don't know if that answered your question about the antenna or not, but I am going to fill my coffee cup if you guys don't mind, and I will be right back with you. All right?
Yeah, be right back. Okay. Oh, we've covered quite a bit. We've been going for an hour now.
Yeah.
Just on an hour.
And, interesting as always.
Gone from we started off, we've gone through world wars, revolvers, school shootings, and CB radio. So who knows where it's going to go. And here's works hard for my kids has come in. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, works hard is on a roll, hopefully, to save some money.
Yeah, with those coupons and everything.
Yeah, oh no, she's got a program there to save. I better get this right.
She wants to save 10 grand or something in the
yeah,
plan.
before the end of the year. Yeah. So it's an admirable thing. I hope she does it. Looks like she's pretty determined. So that's all good. So good morning, works hard. Hope the kids are behaving themselves. All righty. And Yankee's just hopped out for a cup of tea. So he'll be, oh no, cup of coffee. Sorry. Wrong country. Yeah, they don't have English breakfast over there. And
I suppose they're not tea drinkers at all over in America.
Oh yeah, works hard. Says she's off to a good start. Is there and the kids are cool? Is there any you know, are we past the 1K mark yet? Works hard, or you know, been consistently getting there? Be good to know. More to the point, are the neighbours behaving themselves? Yankee's just out for a moment, Mark. So
he's back now.
Oh,
I'm back.
Yankee's back.
Oh, what's your CB handle, Yankee?
You got it, Yankee.
Oh.
That's not very original.
Hey, I am who I am. What can I say, right?
I'm curious to know where you got that name from.
Well, man, I've had that nickname for so long. I've always been kind of out of place wherever I've been. I've grown up down south, but I came in from the north. Yeah. Anytime I went back up north, I was a backwards hillbilly. Anytime I went down south, I was a no good Yankee. So you know, I don't know. Yankee has always been a name that I was called, probably for an insult more than a good reason, but nevertheless, it kind of stuck. I never minded it. So
it's strange how that Civil War stuff is still going on there, and you see people with the Confederate flag up there, and they're pro the South still, even though they lost the war. They haven't lost it mentally.
Yeah, it's people that don't even know anything about it who are still trying to support it. I know it's kind of, I don't know. It's a crazy thing. The history in our country has been confused purposely, and I think actually what our government's trying to do is to get rid of the Civil War. They don't want our children to know that we ever fought against ourselves. And maybe 50 years from now, nobody will even know it happened. And I think that's what they're trying to do.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. But it's been a long time since the Civil War, and it's still known about.
Yeah, you know, but for the first time in the last few years, we started removing everything that is Civil War related.
Oh, really?
Statues, you know, these things that are being stripped down and taken away. Now, once you take down a statue of Robert E. Lee, or, you know, once this is gone, then who is to remember the person? And you know, it's those things that help keep us remembering what happened. So our country trying to remove these things, in my opinion, it's a step forward to getting rid of it altogether. We would rather the people not know that there was ever a day that we fought against ourselves. That way, you know, look, if the people think they can, they will. If they think they can't, they won't. Right? So maybe there's a reason behind it.
Okay. Well, I don't think you'd ever have another Civil War again. God. I mean,
well,
it was the worst war in history at that time, wasn't it? There'd been nothing like it.
You know, if they tried to take away, we go to our full circle here of where we came in at. But if they tried to take away our firearms, that could very well be something that would trigger a civil war.
Good.
So while you're away, Yankee, we've got Works Hard for Her Kids has come in, and Mark.
Good morning.
Mark's been there. Yeah, she's an awesome lady that's trying to raise some money, and yeah, does some great videos. I've really enjoyed them. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, that's all good. I'm just trying to think. Well, I'm just checking through here. Yeah, and WT, we've got WT here asking who was on the panel. And yeah, and
you tell you I'm here now.
Yeah, I think we've covered. I think I've covered everything from the chat, pretty much. Yeah. We're all there. You were saying about how you get your names. I've just got a whole lot of new students that have come into my classes, and a lot of them are international students from China. So they choose a name. They choose an English name when they come, and so I asked them, why did you choose that name, or where did you get that name from? So I had one guy was called Peter, and I said, why did you call yourself Peter? And he said, oh, my teacher said that people that called Peter are very intelligent. So he chose that name. But I got one guy, and his name was Buddy. And I said to him, well, where did you get that name from, Buddy? And he said, oh, because a lot of them come into a homestay. So he came into his homestay, and they had a dog called Buddy, and he liked the name of the dog, so he chose the name. So apparently that got a bit confusing, so the dog was called Buddy 1 and he was called Buddy 2. So it's interesting talking to them. Yeah, he's a pretty good sort of chap, actually. Funnily enough, he's a video editor. He's got a degree in video editing, and yeah.
Where's he from originally? China or something, is he?
Yeah, from China. Yeah. We have guys from, we have students from China, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal. They come in and, come in into our...
What about your homegrown Kiwis? Don't they do the surveying courses, or?
Yeah, they've got a few of them, but it's sort of the courses that we do, they're at like a polytechnic, which is sort of like a, it's sort of, I think in the States you call them community college, and in I think in Australia you call them TAFEs, is it?
That's right. Yeah. Technical and further education.
Yeah. And so what happens is, a lot of our students will go to university, and then some of the ones that are perhaps not quite so confident in themselves and stuff like that will come to us. So it's sort of it sort of works itself out.
Now, how long have you been at you teach at the college then, Mario?
Yeah.
How long you been doing that?
Well, it's a long story. Works hard at Buddy. That's the name. Sorry that he chose. Yeah. I trained as a surveyor when I left school, and after I qualified as a surveyor and worked as a surveyor up in the mines here for about 10 years. And then in 1987, when the share market crashed and that, they well, just before that time, they had big redundancy things in the mines, and so they paid me too much money to go away, and then I went and worked for a year, and then I went to training college and I trained as a secondary school teacher. I just had to do 1 year on top of the degree that I had, and so then I went teaching in high school. We call it high school. So that'd be K9 to K12 or something like that. Just
that's high school here too.
Yeah, I just mostly teaching maths and computing. And then I went back surveying because my qualification was getting a bit, they introduced computers and electronic gear and stuff. So I went back and then I sort of ended up working for myself. And then I started to get a few problems with my hands and, my stamina and stuff like that. So I went to the Polytech teaching surveying, which is my thing. So it all sort of came together. And I've been doing that. This is my 5th year where I am, and I did a year before that as well. Yeah. So we've got Brody Brewer is in the chat room. So we can see your chat, Brody. And yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so that's my little bit of history there. I'll just catch up with the chat.
How many we got in there, Mario?
We got 7 watching now.
Well, good morning.
And Brody Brewer. Yeah. So we can hear you, Brody. I'll just can see you.
You guys are in morning. I'm still in evening at the moment.
See you chat.
You can see it's the window's starting to brighten up here. It was dark when I first got on here.
Yeah, well, our summer's coming to an end, and we'll be going into autumn, and you'll be going into spring.
Yeah.
You'll be happy there.
Yes, I will. I cannot wait. I hate the winter time, and we get some rough winters here in Ohio.
But you still go out doing the hiking in it as well.
What's that?
You still go hiking in the snow.
Yeah, you can. As I get older, man, my body doesn't like that cold weather. I feel it in every joint and every bone anymore, So I like the summertime. I'll stay out. Every year I plan a trip. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. This year I'll spend 28 straight days out when I go. I have 28 days, consistent days set up for myself, and I'll spend all 28 of them on the river.
Wow.
I would actually stay a lot longer, guys, if life would allow me to. I would just stay and not come back. Just to be honest with you.
So what are you doing on the river?
I'll set up a little bush camp. I will hike the region back up and around. I'll mess around on the islands. There's a lot of islands on this river that nobody uses because they don't want to use the incentive it would take to get across the river to the islands. So I'll be on the islands. I'll do a lot of fishing and just enjoying life.
You're actually living off the land as well.
Yeah, I will. Yes.
Mm.
I forage. I'll fish. I'll forage. I would say I would hunt, but I'll be out of hunting season. And if I hunted, it would be illegal. So we won't say I'll hunt.
No.
But believe this, I will eat while I'm out there. So
yeah.
And you'll be eating.
You'll probably see rabbits or something. I'm sure rabbits are fair enough. They wouldn't have a season on rabbits.
Right, we do.
You do?
Yeah. Actually, rabbits aren't the best game in the summertime because they get a wolf worm. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
But they get a worm in their it'll actually bore a hole in its neck. It'll actually, when you kill the rabbit, the worm stays alive off of the host. So when you kill the rabbit, it'll actually come crawling out of the neck, and they're huge, and they're a wolf worm. But they make the meat poison, is what they claim. You know, you don't want to eat one if it's got a worm. But now the frost and the cold weather kills off the worm. Okay, and that's why the season doesn't start until after that frost, after, you know, in the fall of the year.
Yeah. Good. Who would have thought? Yeah, they got myxomatosis here, which is a thing they introduced, and it's carried by fleas and devastates the rabbit population, but they still seem to be there, you know, introduced animal species and out of control.
You know, our rabbit population is kind of low around here compared to what it should be, but the all-time high population around here is feral cats, you know, barn cats. And yeah, you want to talk about an animal that will devastate the small game, and that's cats, man. And there's a lot of cats here.
Yeah, well, they have that problem here too. And they've actually, all over Australia, out in the desert areas too, the Aboriginals have actually tracked them and caught them, and like they're living wild and surviving. So all these little marsupials that are rare, they're all getting killed off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, our rabbits over here, they tried to, well, they have introduced myxomatosis. Some guys brought it into the country illegally and whipped up a concoction in their blender in their kitchen and introduced it there. Something's weird's just happened here. Hang on. Oh, there we go. And introduced it in there. But myxomatosis, it only lasts, and then the rabbits become immune to it. And so now they've got big infestations of rabbits, and they're trying to, we used to have rabbit boards over here where the guys would go around and shoot them. So now I think they're trying to maybe fire some 1080. Do you guys use 1080? They just put carrots with 1080 on it, and that wipes out everything.
Well, that's right. It wipes out native things. It wipes out. My grandfather had a farm, and the guy laid out 1080 next door, and all his dogs died. You know, all his grandfather's dogs. He didn't have any working dogs. They went in there and ate it and died. Like, he was like furious. But that's what happens. You can't do nothing.
Yeah, we just had a case over here of a family that caught some wild boar, or were given some wild boar, and they ate it, and then they all started hallucinating, and they were in hospital for a couple of weeks. And there's been all sorts of things, but there's a suggestion that it might be 1080 poisoning, which, according to the authorities, can't happen. But might be. There's a bit of an issue around it. We're just working through that now. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure 1080 poison would be poisonous if you ate the animal concerned. You would get it. Of course you would.
Well, they reckon not, but there's some.
Well, they reckon crows and that die from it, because they go on the small animals that have died from it, and they eat that and they die as well.
Yeah. Well, this was like a boar or something, so yeah, it must have been pretty big. But yeah, there's all sorts of debate around it. Hang on, I'll just go to the chat. So Works Hard is asking what myxomatosis is. It's sort of a virus or something that they introduce to the rabbits, and it kills them. Not a very pleasant death actually, but it's a thing, and it just spreads from rabbit to rabbit. I'm not quite sure how
it's their head away. It sends them blind.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It's transmitted by Some places, areas they did with mosquitoes. Other areas they infected rabbits with fleas and released them.
Okay.
This is all in Australia, but that was years ago. But you're right, Mario. They do get a kind of because you don't get a proper kill. Your best hit is when you first bring it in. After that, they start to get a bit of resistance.
Yeah.
It's a terrible death for them. It is.
And so we've also got Moz saying that they've got the cane toads in Queensland, which again is that's they introduced those to do something. And Mark has said he'd love to live in the woods year round if he could, but with 3 little girls, they'll need their dad. So yeah, I can understand that one.
You're 100% right on that, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm right there with him. I would too. If I could forfeit all life's responsibilities, that's where you'd have to come find me. We'd be out in the middle of the woods. Much more relaxing lifestyle and a much more healthy one, in my opinion.
Health over here in New Zealand, one of our pests was introduced from Australia, which is the opossum, which you might have seen in my videos. I've still got a couple in my roof that I'm trying to get rid of. And also, we've got wallabies over here as well. We used to have. Yeah, they're a small kangaroo. Is that right?
Okay.
And I think they've got them on, but I think we export some of those back to Australia, or we used to a while back. But yeah,
what, as meat or something?
Eh?
What, you kill them and then send them back to us?
Oh no, they were sending live ones back, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is that in New Zealand, originally in New Zealand, there was no predators. We only had birds. There was no
animals,
no mammal animals, and the Maori brought rats with them when they came, and then these.
Yay! They brought rats.
Well, yeah, no, I think they. I don't know, but they certainly brought rats.
Probably brought rats with their ships, I'd imagine. Yeah. I mean, this is the same reason the plague was spread around, was because of every time a new boat would come into port, it would have rats that had fleas that potentially had the plague. So, and then the rats, and then I think Captain Cook. We have some pigs over here that are called Captain Cookers. And I don't know whether they're the actual pigs that he introduced, but wild pigs, and they introduced deer, opossums for the fur trade. I don't know why they introduced the wallabies. I'm not quite sure on that one. But
I do know that those sailing ships, when they went out, they did release pigs there, so that they would have a source of food if they came back. Really, not for themselves, but for other people. But
yeah, the Spanish is the ones that brought the pigs to South America, Mexico, and the best we can tell, when it comes to wild boar, the boar themselves migrated up into the. I think it was just really common for any, we talked about this. I think it was me and you talked about this on a private call, Mario, when we were talking about Vikings. But
I was in that one too.
They always seem to bring everything with them that they needed to set up a village and to start, to stay for a while. So I think a lot of farm animals found their ways, across just all because of early settling. The Spaniards that brought the hogs, now they claim that they all died off or assimilated into the native culture, because after the hogs were brought here, the Spanish had their own wars they got into, and they never made it back for their people before the country was inhabited by others that made it over. So
I'll just do a little bit of on the chat line here. We're getting a little bit behind. Works Hard's got to has to go and start her day, so I just want to thank Works Hard for dropping by.
Thank you.
That's right.
Great to have you, and good luck with the you know, I hope the challenge goes well. So that'll be great. So thanks very much for dropping by. Now, Moz, as we're on the cane toads, they were introduced to eat the cane beetle, and then the beetle are all gone, and the toads continue to thrive and spread. So, yeah, it seems like whenever man interferes with the ecosystem, he screws it up, basically.
Those cane toads, they're spreading right over the country.
Yeah.
They're going to cover all of Australia by the time they're through.
And he's saying here that there's a colony of wallabies on the Isle of Man, which is over there. I don't know what that's all about, but perhaps that'll come to light.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Mark is saying that he's taken the girls to the cabin in the woods, and they were great for about 2 weeks, and then after that they wanted to go home.
Oh, they got stir crazy.
yeah.
They wouldn't like not having their phones and things.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't say how old they were. So, yeah, I guess they, yeah,
all this, you know, all this new technology and stuff makes it really hard to get kids to get involved in that type of stuff. You know, it does.
Well, mankind's evolved. Man, I sort of wonder. I think mankind's evolving.
But we're evolving beyond our roots. You know, I mean, and that might not necessarily be a good thing. Once the roots is gone, where is your foundation? What holds you up? You know, so
yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I just, you know, we're continually moving forward. Yeah. It's not stopping. Like some kids don't even know where milk comes from.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Or just tell them the chocolate milk comes from the brown cows, right?
But what happens?
You ever tell them that?
The chocolate milk. Yeah.
Comes from the brown cows. Yeah, the brown. That's where the chocolate milk comes from. The brown ones. I always tell kids that.
Oh, okay. The wallabies on the Isle of Man were in a zoo, and they escaped and liked the place so much they bred. So they started off, yeah.
Well, what is the Isle of Man? Would that is that down south that it wouldn't get the snow, or you know, like it's?
I don't know.
Don't know how they'd go in snow conditions. They wouldn't be able to eat.
No, Mark says that his girls are not into phones and PCs. They love to hike, fish, and hunt. But it probably
that's awesome.
2 weeks is enough. By the sounds of it. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Sorry. With the Isle of Man, it's over in England somewhere, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is. Yeah.
So I imagine that. Yeah.
Isn't that a Greek thing? I don't know. I mean, I don't know my geography very well, but I think the Island of Man makes me think of some of the Greek stories. I am a history buff, so.
No, it's
definitely the south of England. There's a guy that I follow on it, Clatterfield Slim, and he lives there actually. But I didn't really look at it. I think it's down separate from the mainland.
It's well known for a motorcycle, the Isle of Man TT motorcycle race. It's quite well known for that.
A big death toll course for motorcyclists.
Yeah, and they race there. I think it's still going, is it? The Isle.
Yeah, it's been going 100 years, more than 100 years, probably.
They race through the streets, and one or two of them find the brick walls not to their liking.
Well, the course is so big. It's such a great big course that they never really get to know the all the corners, and that's where they can run into trouble.
Yeah. All right. Famous motorcycle TT races. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check it. Yeah, we'll probably have a look at the old wallabies. I might be check up the wallabies here on in New Zealand. I can remember it a few years ago, but I haven't heard about them for a while. Oh, we got some more Australians in. The Simple Joys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You got some support there, Moz and WT?
Yeah, she's great on the kangaroo meat. She put a video up where she was making some kangaroo rissoles, and I've got to go to Woolworths and check out whether they sell them down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, you buy the rissoles, or?
Yeah, they buy them in rissoles, all pre-packaged and everything.
No, these were large hop wallabies. The Australian rugby team is called the Wallabies, and Simple Joys is wondering whether perhaps a few of them stayed behind. But yeah, no. I might have to check my memory on that one.
Well, we're rolling right along here this morning, guys. It's 7:30 already. We done been on here what, an hour and a half already.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Yeah, yeah.
11:30 here, and up at Queensland it's 10:30. So
yeah,
we've got a little bit to go.
1:30 here, but I don't sleep on Saturday night, so it's not a problem.
I don't know how you can do that. You don't have any sleep and you carry on the next day, still working, doing all your stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I take the little pills. I take these steroid pills, and I just don't go to sleep. Like if I lie down and nothing happens, I'm just thinking, oh, well, I should be doing something. So
your brain is just constantly working, and you can't.
Yeah, I just don't feel tired.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. Yeah, they're a little bit they do some bad things for your digestion, and I find that, you know, like I've got to go into the hospital again at 6, and they'll hook me up again for another couple of hours, and then but when I feel that like I can sit at the computer and do little bits and pieces of things, but I sort of got to be a bit careful. Well, you know, I don't feel too flash if I go and do anything too strenuous, you know.
So what, you go in at 6 o'clock tomorrow for another?
Yep, I'll leave it here at 6. I usually get I'll leave here about 6:45. I get up at 6. I'll leave here at 6:45 and go in, and they just hook me up. I've got a thing in my chest here, just with they just hook up, and yeah, they just put another litre or so of stuff in.
Good.
Yeah, keeps me upright.
Well, that's it. It's not nice to have, but if it keeps you alive and going, well.
Yeah. Oh, not so much alive. It's just my nerves. The thing I've got is it's called Lewis-Sumner syndrome, but it's like if you imagine a bit of electrical wire and the insulation around it's gone, you know, not working. So that's what my nerves are like. So they don't function too well. They don't do what I tell them. But if I take this stuff, it sort of helps them.
The nerves are one thing they can't fix. I had an injury, and both arms were tingling. So it would tingle 24 hours a day for 6 years. And all of a sudden I thought, oh, hang on, that's gone. And there's no cure. And I just said that the human body is just wonderful. And sometimes, you know, no one could do anything.
Nerves regrow. Nerves will regrow. nerves regrow about 1 millimeter a day, but without and a day off and a day off on Sunday, so they will regrow about 6 millimeters a week.
They don't grow. What, do they go and pray or something on a Sunday?
I don't know. Oh, that's just what the doctor told me.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a good story. Never let the truth get in the way. Yeah, just top me up. I go in every couple of weeks. So yeah, so that's what I'll do, and then I go in there and I sit in a lazy boy chair and they do it, and I usually sort of I can maybe get to sleep then just for a little while on and off, and then I'll come back out, but I'll be a bit drained, sort of. Yeah, but no, it's all right.
You said you went one day. You said that you got back and you felt a bit tired, and the next thing you know, you woke up. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. It does. Sometimes it's like that. It very much depends on just what's going on. Because one of the side effects of it is that they're the antibodies out of the nerves are Seventh-day Adventists. They keep the Sabbath. They don't work on the Sabbath. That's from the Simple Joys there. One of the side effects of this stuff is it's all the antibodies out of the blood. So from the blood bank, they send it over to Australia and they make this antibodies. And so I haven't had a flu or a cold or anything for about 10 years.
Now, what's happened here? I'm looking at...
he's coming and going. I'm not sure. He'll...
whether that's gone on to a video or something.
No, that's just gone on to his avatar. So I'd say he's got...
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back. Here he is.
He's outside.
Oh, he's outside.
Yeah.
Changed location on you.
Yeah.
This is the advantage of having it on a phone, your mobile.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the dogs needed to come out, so I figured I'd walk out for a minute.
Oh,
yeah.
Keep talking. We'll introduce us to the dogs.
Yeah, what sort of dog you got, Yankee?
Well, let her finish the position she's in, because that might be a little awkward for video. And
yeah, it's like that, isn't it?
There's let's see if you guys see.
Oh,
there's Tasha. Tasha. That's Tasha. That's my baby girl. She's my hiking partner. She's an old lady though.
We've got Happy Trails hiking has come in.
Hey. Happy Trails. It's great. Let me flip this back around here. Hello, Happy Trails. Great to see you. So I don't see you, Zoe, but it's great to know you're out there. And I hear a woodpecker, but I don't see him.
A woodpecker.
Yeah, yeah. You guys get woodpeckers over there?
No.
Like Woody Woodpecker. You guys don't get woodpeckers?
No. Well, not that I know.
He's down here in one of these dead trees. I'll wait till you might hear him again.
Happy
Is that
Trails.
your property there where the field's been tilled?
What's that?
Is that your property where you got a bit of land by the look of it?
Yeah, we farm this here. Yeah. Yeah, we do a lot of farming here. That's what we do.
Happy Trails has said that he got up early for this, Yankee. So,
good morning.
Thank you, Happy Trails.
Let's see.
The woodpecker. Can you get him?
Yeah, I'm trying to encounter him. He's down here in one of these dead trees. We had a bad windstorm a couple of years back, and it tore all these trees. You see how they're all broken and busted. the windstorm did that to every tree here in the yards like that. Actually, let me turn you around like this.
What sort of trees are they?
Well, I mean, there's a few different type here. There's there's several different types. There's even some pear trees down here, poplar trees, maple. There's a little bit of everything down here. But I'm thinking that woodpecker is in one of these dead trees right here.
Can you hear him or?
Not now, I can't. I did hear him up a second ago, but now I don't. Yeah, you can hear him when he's rattling on that wood. It echoes.
Now I did a one of my questions on where, what, who was a sort of animal that did a similar technique, called percussive foraging or something.
Let me see if this lets me. I don't know if it does though. No, I guess it don't let me zoom in, does it?
I can see a bird up on that branch there.
Can you?
Well,
Just
oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't let me zoom from when it's
shape of a bird, yeah.
When it's in this in camera mode like that, it don't let me zoom.
Oh, okay, with the thing there.
Yeah, when I'm using the camera itself, it won't let me zoom.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if you every tree in my yard is like that. They're all busted off.
So
we actually tore the roof off the front of the house. The windstorm, same windstorm.
It wasn't like a cyclone, was it?
No, they called it a straight line wind is what they called it. Of course, for insurance purposes. If it would have been a tornado, the insurance would have covered it. But because it was a straight line wind, the insurance didn't cover it.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
A money game. Everything's a money game, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
just pay insurance for years, try to make a claim. Read page 900 or something. It is the law.
We've just had a cyclone. Well, it missed us here, but it came down different parts of the island. But apparently, do you know the difference between a cyclone and a hurricane? Well, you guys do you have hurricanes or cyclones?
Well, I mean, we get tornadoes or we get hurricanes, we get tornadoes, we kind of hit it all. Ohio's a little bit inland for a hurricane, though. We would only get the bad winds of it. We wouldn't get the the worst of the storm.
Yeah, the cyclone goes in one direction, like it spins in a different direction, and the hurricane and tornado spins in a different direction. So one of the guys at work was telling me yesterday.
Okay, well, would that relate to the northern and the southern hemisphere?
Yeah, it does apparently, but I think the name.
Is it true that a whirlpool spins opposite depending on which side of the equator you're on?
Oh, well, you mean
they've done big tests? They've done great big tests, and you'd have to have something about 6 foot wide and have all the instruments to measure it, and there probably is a little bit of truth in it, but in actual effect, to watch it, you wouldn't see it.
Like if you're in Australia, right? So when you flush the toilet in Australia, does the water go around to the right or to the left?
No, our toilets aren't like that.
No,
neither are yours either now.
Yeah, the bath plug is the one. It goes, and there's a place. I think I saw a thing on near the equator where they actually had one bath on one side and one on the other, and they show it going around one way on there, and then they walk and look at the other, and it goes the other way. I saw that on TV.
Yeah, there's more effect from the shape of the material. So if you're in a bath, it's different. But if you've got to have a total circle,
Yeah,
I did an experiment because I was arguing with a guy from the north, you know, and he said the same thing as you. Oh, it goes anti-clockwise or something. He'd seen it on The Simpsons or some ruddy thing. But, yeah, it's so minute that you wouldn't know.
But when I went over to Ohio like last year, I couldn't get used to your toilet. So
was that the ones that had the water that comes right up and nearly
it comes right up like a big pond. I kept wanting to get my fishing rod out.
We don't have that. We've got to save water. We're in an area where we're not getting the rain.
They have like a big pond and then it goes down, whereas our ones have a little bit of water in the bottom and it flushes over the top. Yeah. It's very, very different. You wouldn't think, but it is.
But I heard that type of sort of going out, that original American type. You reckon that was mostly what you accounted? Everywhere
where we went, yeah, that was the only one we had. And then I heard some people, I've seen somewhere, because we have the dual flush ones. So, you know, if it's you know, if it's yellow, you only give it half a flush, and if it's brown, you give it a full flush. You know.
Yes, right. Enough of
that. Yeah. So took me a while to get used to them. I kept thinking I was going to get wet.
Well, I can understand what happens when they accost you in the toilets and shove your head down the toilet, like over in America. That would be.
It does make more sense now. Yeah. No, that was quite funny. It's just such a huge body of water. Whoa.
So I think your toilets, commodes, whatever you want to call them, they just have a little bit of water in the bottom of them. Is that what?
Yeah,
normally
they just have a big a little bit of water in the bottom, and then like just about 60 mil down from the top, they have like when you flush, all the water comes out and fills it up and flushes it away.
And the quantity of water is quite different. Now we're only, for a full flush, 4.5 litres from the system will come down, and 3 litres for a half flush. So it's not much water. Like they're really, you've got to flush it a couple of times, you know.
We've got Noodles McGee here with if it's yellow, let it mellow, and if it's brown, flush it down. That was when we're saving water. That's the thing they have.
Here in America, you waste everything. So.
Oh yeah.
Use twice as much everything. We got big water tanks on the back of our toilets.
Well, not big, but I've got 3, 6, 9. I've got about 11,000 litres, but it's not much. You've got to really look after it.
Yeah, it is like an RV toilet, or like the toilet on an airplane or something. It's more like that. Well, RV, but not it flushes down the sides. Yeah. Just answering one of the ones on that there. That put this discussion on Web for the Week. I might have to start up a whole new program.
It's breaking up again. I'm going to go and I'm muting myself, but you're still breaking up.
No, I think that was on Mario's end. I think he was just having a little connection difficult.
Yeah, it's coming down. Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Well, hey guys, you know we're almost coming up on 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to get ready to back out anyway. I have had a great time with you guys here today.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's great.
No, that's. I think we're probably.
Uh-oh. I lost you, Mario.
Yeah, I have.
No, that was WT was talking. I've just missed that.
You slowed right
Yeah,
down.
yeah. What we'll do is keep it. I'll just go till 2:00 here. It's after 2 hours. So just want to thank everyone for coming along, and especially Yankees and WT for coming into the hangout. I think as an idea, it's worked. What do you think, Yankee?
Oh, I lost you again, brother. But yeah, we're getting a little connection problem here all of a sudden, it looks like. But I totally appreciate being here today, guys. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Maybe give me a thumbs up if you hear me there, WT.
No problems, mate.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good, great. If I definitely want to thank you both, you guys, for having me here. And WT, it was great getting to see a face behind the avatar. And Mario, I always enjoy our conversations, man. You're a great guy to talk to. Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah. No, thanks. Yeah. No, it's been good. And thanks to all our people that have come in on the chat. We're just looking through here. Mark, the Simple Joys, Happy Trails, Hiking, Moz, really great support on Moz. Appreciate it. Thanks very much. Noodles McGee, just coming lately there. Welcome, Noodles. And I think I've got that name right. Works Hard's been and gone, and a couple of others. So no, it's been really good. Loved having everyone there. So
Happy Trails came in. I remember they were in. So I appreciate everybody for coming out. If anyone stopped out from my channel, I appreciate that too. So that's awesome.
I think you did have a few, Yankee, that came.
What's that?
You did have a few that came.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Cool.
And it's hard to get the timing that's suitable for everyone. So appreciate that. Some people do have to sleep.
Well, that's like Happy Trails. They were in here, and they're actually on Central Time, so they're a couple hours behind me. So
that was a big effort to come in.
Yeah, it was. So I mean, I truly I appreciate it. It's so awesome that anybody from from over here got themselves out of bed on a Saturday morning to see my ugly face. I definitely appreciate it.
All righty. Oh well, I'll just let it wind down and just let it go away. So thanks for in, and we'll just let it go. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, awesome. I've enjoyed it. I like. I've wanted to sort of try and do interviews and things with people, so it's good to know that it sort of works.
Yeah, it worked great. It was fun to do. I'd love to do it again. And plus, you guys know you can do it too. Maybe this is something that maybe even WT would like to try over on his channel or something.
I've got no channel. I've never been on the first time I've ever been seen on YouTube.
Well, maybe you'd like to start one now. Maybe we'll get you a bit with the bug.
Well, I think it's a little bit over my pay grade, but it's been enjoyable.
Well, it was great. I'm glad you come on out here today.
Yeah, and Noodles McGee, awesome. Thanks. I appreciate that you've gone to some effort to get here today. So great. Yeah, thank you. I was just sort of keeping up my end on the chat there. So awesome. Who we got? Might be time for me to have a cup of tea as well, I think.
Yes, I'll be having one myself. I'm sort of an addict to it.
I drink a lot of tea.
I do the coffee myself, but I drink a lot of it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Noodles. That was great. And the Simple Joys. Yeah. I sometimes watch your I see you go live when I'm at work, but bit reluctant to answer the questions.
Well, it's very hard. I was on there one too about London, and my God, virtually the answer, the question was out of their mouth, and the answers were coming in. So some of those people overseas have got fantastic speed.
I wondered about that because I thought, I don't know whether there's different lags over the internet and some people get the question before others. So,
I think it happened. I think everything on YouTube actually goes to America and then has to come back. Now, I don't know how it works, but I think that's how it works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I wondered, because I was like answering questions. Well, you know, when it came out, I'd answer the question and it had already.
Oh, yeah, it's a big leap. I got 2 right, though.
Hey, on the note of YouTube, guys, with this most recent algorithm change, the most recent change they made, be sure to check your spam folder, because with this last change, they have increased the type of things that put comments into spam. So you may all of a sudden have more spam than you ever did before, and they just need to be approved. You'll probably be like, you know, why did they even spam that comment? There's nothing wrong with it, but it won't be on your page until you approve it.
Yeah, we are.
So be sure to take a peek every now and then at that spam folder.
We've found that on the where, what, who, and whatever. I'll post an answer, and Mario has to go and check to find it, you know, because it's not come up. And I'll say, well, it's not come up, and so that's going on, certainly right at the moment.
Yeah. So that's just something you definitely got to keep an eye on with that new change. I had in 2 days or 3 days or something like that, I had over 100 of them wind up in there, comments. And I didn't even know they were there, because when you use the cell phone, they don't give you the same notifications that you get when you're on the PC.
Yeah.
And I have no access to the spam folder with my phone. And if it wasn't for my daughter stopping over, and she had her laptop, and I mentioned it, and she said, well, here, let's look. And yeah, I had I had over 100 of them in there. So
the Simple Joys say they've started taking the first 3 answers now. The lag and different speeds were making it unfair for just the first.
That's right. I had that in the other day, but I still got about 20 in before I got an answer on something that quick.
One of the things I do with the comments is every day I go to my community folder and I answer my comments from there. And so I have my community folder up, and then I can actually go and go to the channels. So I can click on the name and it'll go to the channel and show the channel, and then I can go back to my comments. It sort of works quite well. So I've been answering. I always check through there once a day, and then that's where I check the spam folder and the review folder, if that makes any sense.
Yes, I'm glad you do that, because some go away and you just don't notice. If you just answer it and then go on to something else, well, you never know. It hasn't got there.
And sometimes if there's 2 comments at the same time, one seems to disappear, and I have to push that sort by time thing to make it appear.
Yeah, you told me to do that, and I do that now, and sometimes they do come up.
It sort of works. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is difficult. the whole lagging thing. It's a bit annoying. I actually, just before I've got couple of live streams on here. I wonder if that's why I'm there. Yeah, I get about 3 different versions of the same conversation. It's a bit hard to follow.
Oh, gee. Yeah, well, on the NBN up the country, and he's had no internet for a week, and they won't. They say, oh, they'll be out here on Saturday, and then they said, oh, a week later he'll be out. The Saturday never came, so they got nothing. And because it's it takes out your phone as well, so you lose your phone and your internet. It's terrible.
Yeah. Alrighty, I'll let this wind down a little bit, and yeah, we'll catch you all sometime.
No worries. I'll make a few comments on Yankees videos, the ones that I can sort of go along with, of interest.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do this again, maybe in a month's time or something like that. You know, a little bit further down the track. Be good.
Yeah, well,
it was a lot of fun. Anytime.
Yeah. And yeah,
you can try Moz on next time, you know, to make a bit of a different personality on it.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's an option. Yeah.
That sounds like fun. We'll switch it up. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. All righty. Cheers, everyone.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, I'll try and turn this off.
Oh yeah. I had a bit of fun by turning it off. I turned it off.
I'm gonna have back out then, guys.
Yeah, no, we'll see you, Yankee. Thanks very much. Have a good day.
Much enjoyed.
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Bye.
No problem. All right.
Right, I'm going to switch off now.
All good. Yeah, I'll just trying to work out where I.
Yeah, well, all I've got to do is switch off the red telephone thing, which is leave call, and then I found I had to. I'd signed out of the Google thing, the Google Hangouts. There's a spot up the top.
Oh, okay.
And then I went on my other computer, my Linux computer, and it just automatically started. Anyway, I'll go.
Okay.
Thanks very much. Most enjoyable.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, cheers.
See you later. And thanks to all our chat people. Noodles, Simple Joys. Awesome. Great to have you on board. Thank you very much. I'm going to try and slowly work my way out of here. So that's